Checking in with some AEL High School Marble Rivals. It's time for turn 4. Mattse and TwoTapTony coming at ya once again with some incredible action, Tony. And it's a pleasure to be on board, and it's a pleasure to be supported by our sponsors. So, first and foremost, a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. For Tony, there's something I'm missing. Who could it be?
You're missing HyperX and Officeworks, of course. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks when you need speed, control, and zero distractions. Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. You know what else we love? Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So a big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors there. Big shout out to TwoTapTony for jumping on board with me for this journey here, and a big shout out to each and every one of you for coming along to enjoy the ride, enjoy the show. But speaking of the show, we got some great teams online here today, Tony. You know, we got incredible competition out of our up-and-comers, I'd say. You know, it always impresses me to see the unique approach to the game that I guess some of our students do have. And yeah, it's great to see the start of their esports journey through this pathway.
Yeah, I was going to say we saw some interesting things. You know, me and Smiles got to cover week 1, and it was very interesting to see a lot of newer faces come through here for the High School Cup. And I was going to say very interesting, you know, picks and stuff. High school, you know, it always breeds a little bit of that newer blood into the competition. Of course, you know, maybe we'll see these teams, some of these players eventually move on to brighter pastures and bigger leagues.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we've seen players like Beast Node make strides there, so very excited to see if others can follow in their footsteps, so to speak, and yeah, take that step. But looks like we are going to be jumping in to the fray right now. It's time for our first game. BSDE Infinity Stones taking on the Trinity Titans here, and we're into the ban and protect phase right now. First ban's coming out. It's going to be Penny taken offline there for the Titans. They do not want to deal with that one. Great to, I guess, enable that Vanguard ban initially, considering how Penny is a decent solution, I'd say, to shutting down some of the more mobile duelists, but curious what the response will be. It is going to be a Namor taken away by the Infinity Stones here, so gonna just disable that Deep Wrath team up with Hella.
Yeah, immediately getting rid of that one. I was going to say Helena Moore's been a pretty hotly contested pick recently, and as you said, Penny being a quick ban there from Trinity. I was going to say very strong in shutting down the dive, and we've seen dive have a heavy meta at the moment. I was going to say the Iron Fist lock-in here for BSDE is a key point to note as why the dive is so prevalent. Some of these teams really like to play it, especially here in the High School League. And for the side of Trinity, locking in that Emma Frost is one that's going to be able to, I guess, peel a little bit more heavy if the dive does come through.
Yeah, curious to see what the next ban will be on their side. It is going to be BP. So, BP, I'd say, one of the more weaker duelists at the moment. Like, I think that there's definitely a decent amount of ways to deal with them. But I can respect the ban coming out because, you know, they don't want to deal with some more of those mobile duelists. And, again, interesting to see Mag is actually going to be banned away this time. So, Mag's obviously been a pretty decent solution to some of the more powerful strategists, let's say, you know, being able to get the big boop down onto an Invisible Woman or Mantis, you name it. Mag can deal with it pretty well, but they are going to be looking to protect into the cloak there, so interesting to see that one prioritized over something like the Invisible Woman.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen a lot of Invisible Woman, we've seen a lot of Rocket Raccoon Jeff. I was going to say is some of the common picks here. We'll see Trinity lock Jeff in there for their second lock, and I was going to say, yeah, it feels like the meta is very still strategist heavy, right? We saw a lot of these teams last term ban out the strategist. There was a lot of high prior towards those kind of picks, like your Mantis, your Rocket, your Jeff. And I was going to say as well, Luna's always one that's a prevalent pick. Storm being taken away here for BSDE is an interesting final one. I was going to say less towards the dive and a little bit more trying to control the aerial combat a little bit here, as we'll see. Of course, that cloak lock is really, really good. I was going to say Zicha for the side of BSD has been very impressive. Verixity on the Jeff here for Trinity is one as well to watch for. Strange being left through here is going to be good for Trinity if they're able to get through some good portals here towards the point. We'll see as well Domo thinking about the Atom. So a heavy prioritization towards the strategists here for Trinity. For the side of BSD, though, they're going to be playing a little bit more flyer-centric.
Yeah, looking to take it to the skies, rise up into this one. Very curious to see if it works out for them. Because I know that a lot of teams these days tend to play into the Ultron as a bit of a crutch, let's say. A bit of a more comfort pick, when I feel that other teams are able to find, I guess, different solutions in that. I think that Ultron still does have somewhat of a presence, but I don't know if it's the greatest opportunity to be taken here. But regardless, we are going to be jumping into the game right now, and going to be getting down to business. I really like the strategist lineup coming out from the Trinity Titans into this one. You know, they can play around the Atom, have that Karmic Revival online there, have its Jeff available as well, and the Invisible Boundary. It's just a solid foundation, I'd say, for their lineup, but I'm curious to see how the Infinity Stones will match up themselves. You know, they've got the BRB they can play into here. There's a lot of great options for them, but they just have to lock it down and lock it in. Speaking of, mission area unlocking within the next few seconds here, and the damage is already being exchanged.
Yeah, a lot of damage there towards the front side of things. I was going to say, Hedgion just trying to play around the side, trying to get a little bit of early KO presence here for the side of Trinity. But of course, now we see the power of Trinity. A little bit of a heavy brawler comp, right? You've got Emma, you've got the Invisible Woman, and they're able to fight up front here, but so do the side of BSD. Iron Fist here, able to collect a quick KO. BSD able to collect a quick cap here. I was going to say not too many KOs that came through. And, you know, for the side of BSD, able to control that point early.
Yeah, great to enable that early control there, and they're just doing a great job of zoning things out, you know, playing in to the prevalence that those melee duelists have been having these days. But it's Jeff coming out, good pick up there, and managed to take the cap on a bit of a ride. Luckily they spit their team out in time. Ooh, that almost could have gone another way. Luckily they do get offline quick enough though, and Eternal Bond coming out from Zicha there, trying their best to keep their team in this fight. But I mean, they've already lost a couple. They do fight back though. Finding whoopers is going to be great, shutting down some of that frontline presence. You can see the focus from Arats there. Oh, not going to be able to disable the Karmic Revival, so they will bring all their teammates back. This is nasty right now.
Absolutely nasty. Trinity, they're back in the fray. We'll see Khonshu come out from Hedgion, just try to scatter the point here, but the seal will come out, so will the Freedom Charge from Squeakers. They're on towards the backline, they're on towards the strategist. Rats as well, all over it with a quick KO. They're on to Brixton, will pop the Iron Chi, and now he's looking for a little bit more. Agamotto out of Whoopers to stall him up and stun him down, but it's Squeakers throwing haymakers left, right, and center. Domo now getting chased down by Rats, and it will be a clear sweep of the point. Once again, you saw the res come through, and Trinity, that's when they could come back to life here and activate, but BSDE, they stall it out, they kind of scatter out their approach. The target focus as well from Squeakers and Rats was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Great to see the late portal coming through as well here. Trinity Titans trying their best to contest into this one. You have a few ults they're going to have to deal with. The boundary coming up early could actually favor the Infinity Stones here. They still do have the Rage of Ultron, but hasn't been activated to keep their team up here, so maybe just stalling things out. They do have a bit of flexibility, but there you go. There's the Rage of Ultron coming out from Kagune there. Not sure if they're going to be able to do much with it. It's, yeah, they're just going to be keeping themselves propped up, fully healed. Arats does find a pick back though, so great to get the trades through, but when your team's staggered like this, it could just be best to retreat, concede, regroup into the next one. It looks like they are going to be forced into that equation, so great presence from Trinity Titans to get a bit of percentage now flowing in their way.
Great fight there. I was going to say immediate portal back from Whoopers. You see that Trinity is, you know, just when they lose out some of those fights, they're still kind of playing for the objective at hand, and we'll see immediate change up. Now Kaguya going to be on towards the torch, so as I said, a little bit more flyer centric for Trinity, so BSD maybe looking to match them here. Again, I have to aboard the target focus here. You can see Squeakers immediately on towards the crucial strategy in the backline, trying to take out that Adam early, force a res early, and then they're able to probably win out the fight from there. We'll find a quick KO onto Robo Mikey, and now we'll see the freedom charge here from Squeakers. Let's see what BSDE can do.
See what they can do as they try and pull through here. Big focus onto the back line, and Hedgian will go down. So nicely done by the cloaked player there. You have the Eternal Bond online as well if they need it, but it's a battle of these strategist ultimates right now. They're just holding on tight. Do have the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier available as well here. Agamotto coming out. Ooh, Living Cheat as well. Going to be nullified though. Rats doesn't get away, so it's a wasted ultimate. Eternal Bond coming a little bit too late there, but they are still stalling it out in the OT timer. Trinity Titans still got favor into this one, but they're losing players left, right, and center. They have not popped any ultimates. Khonshu comes out too little too late. The Yarn Amplifier comes after time as well there. Interesting decision, but whatever you got to do to get it over, and the Eldritch Monument will be claimed there by the Infinity Stones. So, well played by them. We're now moving on to the Super Soldier Factory. Titans still going to be ahead in the ultimate department, just barely. I think that the Infinity Stones do have a good foundation with the Seer, you know, the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, but I'm liking the direction that the Titans can take this tone, because they have that Karmic Revival, the boundaries available as well if they want to stall out a fight a little bit longer into this one, but the Infinity Stones, all they've got is that Amplifier right now. You know, they might be able to stall things with the Seduction, but it isn't quite enough. You know, Eternal Bond being online would be great to support their endeavors here, but I'm feeling confident in the Titans heading into this one. You know, on paper, I think they have some great pieces that they can rely upon, but let's see how it goes as the gates now open.
The gates are open. On to our second point here. What the hell's happening? And we'll see Hedgian immediately. Of course, taking up space probably towards the high ground here. So Trinity going to be playing on the low. We'll see Whoopers actually going to be on towards the Emma. Robo Mikey to the thing this time around, so they'll have that fantastic forward team up with the Invisible Woman, and we'll already see the thing try to go for a little bit of a knock-up, but Rats is sticking towards that target, and I was going to say, that's the thing about bringing an Iron Fist into play here for BSD. They're able to stick on their targets more effectively.
Yeah, they're stuck like glue, aren't they? Good response, forcing out the boundary there. AEL High it's going to be sticking it back. The Amplifier not doing much as well. They have caught something back though. Big It's Jeff coming out. That's 3. Taking away their enemies, bringing up their teammates, and they will be able to take away many. KO there. Good for the BRB to bring back the Cloak and Dagger though. They need their strategists online as long as possible here. Squeakers doing what they can to stay on the point, but it doesn't matter when the Titans have already got the mission area played into their favor. They're slowly but surely trying to trickle down these KOs. The Infinity Stones will fall back. Oh, that's tough. They've caught that. They've got the clobbering time coming out as well. Trinity Titans are just going leaps and bounds to just a build percentage right now.
Yeah, just, you can see the sticking power of Robo Mikey on the thing. That clobbering time, perfect stalled piece here. For the side of Trinity. They'll go to about 50% now as BSDE all start to group back up here. Squeakers, of course, leading the front end charge things. And we'll see immediately Psionic Seduction from Whoopers just to stall for a little bit more time. We'll see the Seer back here from the side of Sunvan, but it's all still Trinity controlling the point. KO comes quickly on the Hedgian though, and that's a lot of the upfront damage that Trinity were bringing towards the table. Z-Shot finding the KO there onto Whoopers, and now BSDE are controlling the point back.
Controlling the point back, strolling forward, and it's going to be the Infinity Stones staggering them out. A good timing for it as well. They isolate the pick there onto Bluvo. That is great. They can really set things in motion for themselves here. They're falling back now. You know, they can't stay too close to the sun for too long, or you're going to get burnt. But Trinity Titans at least have a few bits of building up themselves. I think there's going to be a big battle ensuing soon, considering how close we are to so many ultimates right now. This is going to get nasty real quick, but for now, Khonshu already coming out here. They do slip by it, so at least zoning them out, but now big focus coming up front. Aratul getting the choke slam down. It's going to be the Carbon Crutch there, now playing into another Khonshu. Good trade coming out. It's Jeff from Perixity. They found big impact before. Are they going to be able to do it again? Oh, they do catch the cloak. This is big. No one's shutting them down. They're going to slip straight out of it, and they managed to escape. That is crazy coming through from the Titans. Freedom Charge does come in consequence. At least they had the BRB as well, and the boundary is up. They're exchanging strategist ultimates right now, Tony, but this fight is just getting started.
Yeah, Living Sheep from Rats here, trying to get on top of the Vanguards as they're seduced in the Psychic Seduction from AEL High, and Rats is going absolutely nuclear there. Kagune as well with the Moon Knight follow-up damage here. We'll see the KOs come, but we'll see the res back for Trinity. They're all back onto the point, and the fight continues here. Eternal Bond's gone and everything else is gone, but still a Rats is throwing haymakers. It is still all of the KOs going towards BSDE right now. Verixity able to take out Kagune, but still staggered out these KOs, and the point percentage is still building here for BSDE.
Healing up over and over again, and they are on the edge of potentially taking away Hell's Heaven here. You know, they've already claimed one emission area, and now the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier Knights, an early big pick there. Verixity's down. Somehow Tomarez escapes that, but not for long. Both strategists are out of here. Trinity Titans, they're staggering in, not working together. The Khonshu's out from Kagune there. But the portal on to the point does delay things at least slightly. Oh, what a boot! Luckily for Whoopers, they do slip back up, but it's too little too late. They are not able to hold on to the mission area, and it will be map 1 claimed by the Infinity Stones there, Tone. And I gotta say, like, what a commanding presence they had over that map, you know? I feel like it was impactful for their Vanguards for sure. I think the Squeakers did a great job, but I think that the team really shined through the isolation that came in from their Iron Fist player.
Yeah, Rats was definitely a well-deserved, I feel like, SVP, right? Especially the way both him and Squeakers were sticking to targets perfectly. I was going to say just a team of superglue BSDE are. And it feels so strange. I was going to say going into, you know, this last term to this term, BSDE looked a little bit more coordinated. The comms looked like they were flowing a little bit better. And unfortunately for Trinity, a bad start here on Hell's Heaven, but of course maybe looking to lock it back in. I liked a few of their picks, you know, going with the Moon Knight as their solo duelist is probably not where they want to go, especially facing into a heavy dive comp like that.
Yeah, it's a lot to take into consideration, isn't it? You know, like, do they play into dive themselves? Obviously, one thing that I noticed immediately from just what was banned and protected is that Venom was available, you know? So if that is available to, I guess, the hero pool for Trinity Titans, that could be a nice response, a nice solution to come through from them. Obviously, they can play into the symbiotic shenanigans, you know? I saw Verixity was playing a bit of Jeff there and doing really well on it at that, you know? They managed to get some great KOs with It's Jeff coming through from them there, so that's a, you know, a solution they could potentially play into, because obviously with the Feast of the Abyss there, you can play into the anti-heal properties and really just nullify a lot of your opponent's potential there. And like playing into the Rocket and Jeff, the Animal Crossing team up, if you will, there at the back line, it just has so much presence. So yeah, curious to see if that might be a change that they could enable into their next portion of the map here, because yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge ahead. But you know what, there is going to be a little bit of light illuminated on the next point of contact on the challenge, Tony, because we know which map we're going to.
Yeah, we're going to, I believe it is going to be Spider Island fitting for, you know, a quick little convoy push for both sides. And for the side of Trinity, it's going to be a lot of adaptations, I feel like, in the bans, right? We saw as well the Cloak and Dagger that got let through. Normally, we see a lot of teams actually take that away from Zeecha, from BSDE, so maybe we see a prioritization. I was going to say the Cloak and Dagger wasn't too... I was going to say too much of a menace to deal with, but especially having the mag not be there to deal with that Cloak and Dagger was also a big thing. So, again, a props to BSD. I feel like they won it in the vetoes, and then, of course, they showed it on paper there going into that domination. But Spider Island, Convoy, a little bit of a different flavor here, Matt, and I was going to say we're going to need to see probably a little bit of a change up here for Trinity.
Yeah, I can agree with that as well, Tony. You know, it's great to see Spider Islands actually break in, because it's one of, I say, the less commonly played convoy maps. You know, it is a bit of a classic coming into the mix there, but it's not played as much as something like your Yggdrasil Path, you know, something along those lines. So great to see this one being enabled here for these two teams, and really excited to see if there's going to be a change up of approach, you know, whether we do see a bit of a triple setup just to stall things out in the early stages there. I've seen a lot of teams really enjoy to, yeah, just waste as much time as possible with that composition, but we're going to find out all about compositions now as we jump into the Band Protect phase here. The draft will begin, and it's going to be the Infinity Stones taking away the opening slice of this one. So, where do they choose to go? Wow, immediately taking away Magneto. So, you were talking about that Cloak and Dagger earlier. Definitely looking to focus around that again, but as a result, it's a good adaptation from the Titans. They've stolen away Iron Fist, but I mean, that's not the only melee duelist they have to consider.
Yeah, there's a few actually. Black Panther comes to mind. Daredevil as well comes to mind. I was going to say we haven't seen all too much of it here in high school, but over in, you know, uni, it was a little bit of a worrisome pick. We'll see again Emma Frost being prioritized here. I imagine BSC with that mag ban, it is going to be probably a cloak lock immediately, or maybe we see them lock in the Luna. I was going to say both strategists are pretty high priority here for BSDE if they can get them early, especially with the fact that they're banned the mag. They're going to take up the Luna. So smart call, BSDE, changing up a little bit in the in terms of the vetoes. And we'll see where the next ban will lie once again. It's Hedgeon target band here onto the Demore.
And it makes a lot of sense, you know, if you realize that your opponents find a lot of strength into that team up with that hero there, then you want to take away their strengths as much as you can. And again, it looks like the Titans are doing exactly that. You know, they're slicing away Iron Fist, slicing away the Torch there. It does leave a lot of big things open, though. Like, it leaves the Mantis open if they want to play into that. They still have access to Rocket as well. Like, there's a lot that they're sacrificing in order to try and disengage the opposing duelist there. So really curious to see what the response or reaction is going to be from the Infinity Stones, because they got their last Protect online right now, and it's going to be Cap. That does not make any surprises to me at all, considering how well Squeakers was able to play into that, into Hell's Heaven.
Yeah, I was going to say Squeakers have been playing a lot of the Vanguards super well recently. I was going to say, you know, looking at him last week to this week, Squeakers has been performing admirably here for BSDE, and rightfully so. You give him the Cap, you let him do his work. Cap's one of those, I was going to say, Vanguards like Venom that's kind of very hard to KO early. And I was going to say, for Squeakers, being a slippery target, but also being a frontward presence is good for BSDE, because a lot of their power that came from last season was their frontline. At all high, Squeakers very strong in covering their strategists, covering their duelist players, and we're going to be seeing a few different things here for Trinity this time around. As you called for, the Venom, we get to see a triple here for Trinity Titans to start it off on the defense.
Yeah, so this is looking great for them, because now they have access to two key pieces, right? They've got access to the Venom there, but they also have the team up between the Jeff and the Venom playing into the symbiotic shenanigans, and if they want even further damage amplification, they can play into the Mantis. Obviously, Domo Rez has opted out of it initially here. If they do want to switch things up later, though, it is available. But what I like coming out of the Infinity Stones this time is we're seeing them play into the Magic. So we didn't commonly really see Magic played at the Grand Finals on the world stage, but we have seen it pop up a little bit back at home, you know? So it's interesting to see, I guess, a little bit of a shift in how players are approaching this towards the end of Season 4 here, heading in towards Season 5 very soon. But we are going to be locking down the initial fights already. The thing up front are trying to cause a bit of a stall here, but the Infinity Stones are unfazed. They are looking to parade their way forward and push in. Whooper's in a lot of trouble, doesn't have access to much healing, barely gets out of that one.
And that was a very slippery Venom. Whooper's able to get out. It's a good thing here. If Trinity lost Whoopers early, then frontline gets a little bit weaker, and then you see BSDE could really start to snowball the fight in their favor. Playing very safe and very at the range. I was going to say good call from Kalgune to bring out the Moon Knight, though, especially with the triple. Able to shred down targets pretty quickly with those Ankhs, with those Ultimates that build early here, but I was gonna say Verixity and Henshin very far up in the piece, and they'll take out a few quick KOs with the help of Robo Mikey. Trinity controlling it at 20 meters for the moment.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, aren't they? Just holding them in place with this composition right now, and it plays into what I was saying, you know, maybe they play into the triple-triple, and it does find a lot of delay presence, especially into the early game, but looks like they are having an adaptation from the Infinity Stones right now. Wolverine is a great way to deal with it, playing into the Moon Knight as well, definitely a good solution there. It's Jeff coming out though, already is taking care of the Wolverine, and AGON Moto coming through as well, going to be able to shut down all the strategists. It doesn't even matter that they caught a rats there now, because all the strategists are being disengaged. So, Trinity Titan's going to be wiped up clean here, leaving only Whoopers up front. Might have been spotted on the roof there, not entirely sure. Nope, well, if they weren't before, they sure are now, getting some hits through. This might actually cause an isolated KO just for them fighting this, you know. They're playing a bit, I suppose, energetically there, Tony, but luckily they are able to swing back. Still, mission vehicles getting pushed up real quick.
I was surprised that BSD were able to win that fight out. You just saw you know, Trinity kind of walking into Squeakers. I was just up on the high ground playing with that portal, waiting to use that Eye of Agamotto. We'll see once again Konshu come out from Kagune, but as well, the fate of both worlds to keep everybody up for Trinity. They've already lost Hedjin in the process though, so they need to stop the bleeding for the Moto. We'll see last stands out of a Rats here, on towards the strategist in the backline, but the invisible boundary comes at just a crucial moment. Psionic Seduction out of AEL High to try and isolate these strategists for the moment, but they are still healthy, they're still breathing, and you can see BSD are slowly starting to lose this fight out though. Kagune, a quick, crucial KO to find Beast of the Abyss towards the backline, and now the heals come a little bit weaker. We'll see Fate of Both Worlds and Eternal Bond used a little bit of overextension here from BSDE.
Yeah, gonna be in a bit of trouble, aren't they? And we are seeing a big eat. Oh, doubling down on the duelists. What a good way to bring your team back into energy here, back into portion. They will be able to disrupt any kind of presence the Infinity Stones were trying to bring into this one. Nakamoto around the back. Could it be too little too late? It could be a great response. Maelstrom does manage to shut down Domo there. We're going to find a little bit more around the back as well. They're doing a good job of keeping their team online here. Squeaker's in big trouble. Finally goes down. The KOs are flowing in for the Titans right now, and they are stalling things out so effectively. Like, they only have 23 seconds here, Tony. It could be a portal or nothing for the Infinity Stones right now.
I was going to say portal or nothing. The Squeakers are swapped off through the Thor now, so maybe they don't have the portal available with 10 seconds left on the clock to just try and touch that mission vehicle. Trinity with all the space to hold here. We've got Psionic Seduction, we've got Clobbering Time, and we've got Feast of the Abyss. They can just look to walk it up. Clobbering Time comes through, stalls everybody up, and that will be it. BSDE, they only get 100 meters, not even the first cap. Well played to Trinity.
Well played, well done. That triple setup, playing so effectively there. Just incredible. Incredible. And I love to see it. Really well poised. But now, we'll see if the Infinity Stones can do what they did, but do it better. Into the side switch here. Obviously, Trinity Titans, they don't have much presence they need to push for. You know, they got a short distance to cover. So, very curious if the differing approaches will benefit and promote both of these teams here, as now we are seeing something we don't see much of, which is a couple of things. One, the Iron Man. Two, Mr. Fantastic coming out as well. So you can see that the Infinity Stones are baiting us with that Fantastic, as is normal. But the Iron Man could be good here, because if they are unable to deal with it, it might work out really well. Obviously, I like to see Whoopers is changing off into the Star-Lord there. Could be looking to hold that one down. Blue Bow, probably not going to stick on Spider-Man, I'd say. No. Maybe go for something early, but highly doubt that. Yeah, there you go. So back onto the Invis. So, yeah, curious to see how it'll work. I think the Star-Lord should be good enough to deal with the Iron Man here. So Squeakers could change up later, but curious how it's all going to go as we open up the account now, Tony. We're ready to rumble.
Yeah, ready to rumble. Interesting adaptations of the picks here. I was going to say, we saw Whoopers, I believe last week, go absolutely crazy on the Star-Lord, so it feels fitting to bring it out here. And I was going to say, it feels fitting to bring it out on Spider Island once again. So we're going to be seeing how that one fares here. Quick KOs traded back. The Whoopers will be able to find a Rats, and that's one of the Vanguards down here for BSD. That's a lot of their frontline presence now gone. Whoopers still dishing out a ton of damage, finding the double KO there on the Kagude. Now looking for maybe something else, but I was going to say they're able to keep their strategists and their Vanguards healthy for the moment. Bluevo, though, all the way from downtown, able to find it. Whoopers once again using that roll reset to keep the bullets flying. Squeakers hasn't found anything in air, is now under fire here from Whoopers. We'll see a Rats, though, swap over towards the Angela, so they do have a little bit of stopping power if they need to get on towards this cart now.
Yeah, do have a bit of stopping power, do have few tools at their disposal, let's say, Mr. Tony, and very curious to see how they're going to be powering up as there's very little distance to cover once again now. Squeakers up high, trying to zone him out, and Bluevo good on the trade down to Kagune. Squeakers ready and waiting up top, though. No one's dealing with them as yet. I like the Angela change up from them. I think it could work out really, really wonderfully, but Whoopers great onto the KO there, looking for more. They're going to be caught. Hook, line, and sinker from the Angela, falling straight back, though, so good to establish their presence for the fate of both worlds. It's Jeff coming out from Varixity as well. Could be the response they need. They've caught Angela in this one, slipping away through the cracks, and they managed to smack down. So, nicely done once again. It's Varixity doubling down. Galactic Legend coming out, and this could be curtains on map number 2 right here, right now. They're pushing it over the line and eating good. There you go. 1-1 on the score, Tony. The Titans are back in town.
Yeah, Trinity Titans showing some fear that needs to be held here for the side of BSDE. A great hold there, playing the triple, and then showing adaptations. Immediately knew that BSDE are feeling a little bit uncomfortable. They might try to go for some different picks here, and reading perfectly into the Iron Man pick and Whoopers. I was going to say, very strong style of performance. Varixity, once again, being allowed this Jeff has been absolutely key to see here for Trinity, and it definitely felt like it was a well-deserved MVP in that one.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. We saw a little bit of their presence on the Jap already into Hell's Heaven, right? And now they've just been able to further enable themselves into this one, and really are keen to see what else they can do here. You know, I think that they got a lot of great potential. A lot of great presence going into this one, Tone, but you get to see what else they are going to be able to do into map number 3 here. Is they've got reflection, I suppose, to take upon themselves, and I mean that goes to show for both sides. And they both need to adapt to reflect and really determine how they want to approach the rest of this. But we'll see what else they can come up with once they prepare for whatever this third and final map could be.
Yeah, there's a lot of good convergence maps in the pool that are left here. And, you know, Clintar's always a fun one to watch. I would hope to see Clintar, but of course some teams don't really like that one all too much. Yeah, there's a lot that's going to be answered here though for BSDE. The picks that they went for this time, I would have thought, you know, with the mag being taken out of the picture, they were like, all right, we're going to play a little bit more into the strategist this time around and Zicha Sunman. They definitely, it felt good to start for BSDE, but then they kind of slipped back a little bit. Trinity with the triple really paying off there. And I was going to say, props to the Vanguards this time around. Domo off of the Atom from Domination and now onto the Venom. It definitely felt like Domo was able to activate a little bit more.
Yeah, able to activate a little bit more, able to deliver. You know, it's like I was saying into map number 1, like Venom is a great way to respond, and then lo and behold, they were listening, Tony, and they managed to bring that in to full swing there. Yeah, I was curious why neither side opted into the Mantis, you know, considering the damage amplification you can get from a Mantis, as well as playing into that Soul Resurgence there. Like, it's just crazy to see. But word on the street is our next map is Central Park. So, great map to play in for the convoy there, you know, for a bit of convergence, so to speak. You know, we get to see Ratatoska coming at you onto that one, and really curious to see how it's all going to go. Because this one, again, is a great one for that triple setup, and we saw it play really well into the last map. who's to say it won't happen all over again, Tony? And very excited to see how it all goes into our next draft. Right now, it's time for the band Protect. Here coming at ya.
And immediate Trinity take away the Iron Fist, and it felt like Rats was a little bit lost as well in that one on Spider's Island. Doesn't really get to play to his favorite character. Immediate ban from the side of BSD, taking away the Jeff, and you gotta respect it. But where do we see this first lock? Because normally we see them take the mag away and then maybe pick towards a strategist here. But they've taken away the Jeff this time around, so you know that might shape the prioritization a little bit. We're going to be seeing Torch as a lock. It feels like we've been a little. It's been a while since Torch has been heavy lock presence here, but Trinity, they're going to be taking away the Namor then. So you know this is a little bit of a crazier veto here for Central Park.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the direction they're taking it by getting the Namor protected through for the Titans here. Would enable a bit of presence around the Deep Wrath. You know, I'm curious to see if Infinity Stones are going to allow that to happen, because as soon as they ban Hela, like, see you later. But I mean, at least they have Namor available if they want to play into the Squids here. But see what they can do. Yeah, no surprises. They do not want to have the undead Squids coming at you. Not a chance in hell. But they are going to be playing in to Protect right now. Again, one more thing on lock, and it's going to be Emma locked in.
Emma for AEL High feels like those two words are synonymous with each other. The way that AEL High plays the Emma is always good for BSDE, and yeah, it's interesting. I was going to say, you know, allowing them more through but taking away Hela, that still allows, I guess, Hedgen to play a little bit more comfortably, because the fact that BSD have locked that Torch in means that they probably want to play into it. And then, of course, Trinity can just kind of counteract it with the Squids from Hedgen on the Namor. We'll see Invisible Woman lock in here for Trinity. I believe, you know, that one's been a little bit of a back-end staple here for them. We're going to be seeing Angela take it away for Trinity. So, you know, they saw BSD kind of bring that one to the play. Rats was a little bit of a nuisance for them to deal with, and they'll take away the Venom in return. So a lot of these dive Vanguards have been taken out of the pool, so will probably be a little bit more safer for both of these teams going into this one.
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely looking to take a little bit of that into consideration here, Tony, and great to see Venom banned out as well. You know, they don't want to have those dive-centric Vanguards be opted into here. Especially Angela, you know, there's a lot of drop-off points, I'd say, on this one. So curious to see how they are going to be playing it forward. But what I already like to see from Trinity Titans is the fact they're thinking about groups. Now, this map in particular, I'd say is one that can really show a lot of strengths from the right group player, because they can cut off those lines of sight, you know, because obviously there's just going to be a lot of singular lines of sight, except a few little points of contact on the map. So very curious to see how it will go, but no, they've opted away from it. They are just going to be playing Emma Mag, so the traditional front to back composition here, let's say. Not looking to play anything too dive centric at all, but I mean, it's one of the same. Infinity Stones, they're just taking it front to back as well. They've got the thing, they've got Emma, so just looking to play the traditional style of play, let's say. But let's see if anyone's going to be able to slip through the cracks now as the gates are opened. We are ready to go, and let's get this party started.
Yeah, getting this one going. We're already seeing some early chip damage here. Earlier focus onto Hedgen from Kagune. But of course, the Squids put him out of commission here. Quick KO there, solidified by Trinity, and they'll now look to walk it up. I was going to say, just one quick KO is all that's necessary here on Central Park to really try and make the presence be known. But you can see Trinity, they are getting stopped in play for the moment. I was going to say, AEL High, Arat's really front-end presence here. Zicha as well, over on the Invisible Woman this time around. So a lot of heavy up front here for BSDE, and of course Trinity feels like the opportunity now has been taken away, and a lot of chip damage being dealt. Whippers needs to be careful.
Yeah, be careful, need to lock it in, lock it down, don't end. See how things go now. Big KO from Whoopers there, finding a rat, so looking to see if they can catch anyone else. Big burst fire. Focus up, Namor slips in the bubble there. They are forced to slip back, and they will catch Whoopers. Sunban, okay, I see you. Now looking to see if they can switch up on this one. AEL High Full charge here, ready to barge past the Magneto if required, and perhaps catch someone else. Eternal Bond coming out from Brixity, though. They desperately, in the course of Calamity here, doubling down on the strategist ults. I'm not sure what's going on there, Tony, but that could be a mistake which would come back to bite the Infinity Stones now because, well, as I say that, Bluebo had the boundary, and now they don't because they've been KO'd, so it might actually be okay for the Infinity Stones here.
Yeah, it's looking alright. Sonic Seduction coming out here from AEL High as well. Locking up Hedgen, locking up Domo, who's quite low, is able to get the bubble out. AEL High will find Whoopers though in towards the backside of things. Domo now getting absolutely charged down by the full wrath of AEL High, and beautiful hold for BSE. I thought, you know, Trinity might be able to win that fight with the fact of the overcommitment there of the double ultimates. BSE need to be a little bit more locked in that regard because you can't be burning those ultimates quickly. We'll see the legendary, the Galactic Legend from Whoopers on towards the strategist. He's able to just get there for free. Kagune down low here. And we'll see dodge, duck, dive, and everything from Whoopers. It is going to be the triple, maybe a quadra, but it is going to be stolen away by Hedgie, and Trinity will be able to cap the point.
Yeah, great way to just activate for their team there, you know? Playing into the Galactic Legend to open up the account, and they follow suit perfectly. So, really well done by the Titans there, forcing their way onto the mission area, looking to give it their absolute best. But now, pressure is on the Infinity Stones to deliver a response here. You know, they have to stop the Ratatoska in place if they want to deliver something great. They do have Supernova online. Our Proteus coming out from Squeakers right now, under displacement a little bit. And they will be displaced themselves, so curious what's going through there. But Trinity Titans and just going to be looking to keep the mission the same. You know, they don't care if ults are coming before them. They're just going to lock in place and clear space. But Gune has been great getting these singular KOs. Hasn't even used their ultimate there. They are just getting it done all on their lonesome.
And that's, I was going to say as well, props to the strategist there, keeping Kagune up here. Zicha as well. Catches a Robo Mikey lurking. Whoopers, though, still being a front-end presence here, just kind of playing the Star-Lord like you would a Vanguard. Dishing a lot of upfront damage. We'll see the Torch team up there with the thing to go for a little bit of a dive play potentially early on here towards Trinity. Invisible Boundary comes off here from Zicha, so now Trinity are in a little bit of a rough circumstance. Supernova here from Kagune as well, dishing out the chip damage, trying to soften up these KOs here. We'll see Hedgian back with the Horn of Proteus, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Kagune still absolutely dominating here with the Torch. It will be Squeakers for another. Blobbering time comes through. Ratatoska will be claimed now by BSDE.
That's it, claimed by BSDE, and they are going to be able to hold this one in place at least a little while longer. But we'll see if they can get even stronger as the matchup plays out now. You have the Seduction on the line if required, close to the Proteus as well. Titans have already lost a member though. Good from Zicha to find Whoopers there. And now the Seduction comes on. Managed to catch a few in their nasty little web, but are they going to be able to catch anything else? Oh, so close to a KO, but it does slip through the cracks there. And now it's going to be a Seduction in kind. AEL High in deep trouble, gets pushed to the rubble. Everybody is going down right now for the Infinity Stones. And Trinity Titans are looking to chug this mission vehicle along.
Yeah, that was, I was going to say, very interesting for BSDE. You saw the target focus from AEL High, just trying to soften up that one quick KO with the Psionic Seduction, but immediately, great answer from Trinity. Robo Mikey popping that one with no hesitation, Trinity. And, well, now start to build that mission vehicle forward. Horn of Proteus will land for Squeakers, so BSDE, they let them push a little bit around the corner. They might still fight for it here. A lot of damage being dished out. Galactic Legend here from Whoopers, trying to snipe down a crucial strategist, but isn't finding anything. They're playing very safe. Sunman, though, will get taken in the process. Kagune low and sniped by Whoopers. He's able to get away with a slither of HP. And Trinity are still continuing this push.
Continuing to deliver more and more as we go on here, Tone, but they are going to be able to zone it out, zone it in. Keep those squids up to deliver more. Great bubble there. Going to nullify the impact of the Horn of Proteus and looking for more. It's going to be the boundary coming up in response to the Eternal Bonds there. Going to be able to catch one with Okamoto, some man down, but Still online for the rest of them, however. Being down a strategist is going to hurt you. Now losing Zicha as well. Looks like it is going to be Trinity Titans pushing it over. Supernova, great timing there. Not going to be able to catch anybody. Well, not speak too soon. A Blue Bow goes down, and they're looking for more. Great, a little dive there. The Fire Strike coming in. Somehow still online, still kicking. Kagane is doing whatever they can here. So they are just so tenacious into this one, Tone, as they hold on for the OT timer, and all of the Titans Karma crashing down, OT timer trickling through, Titans nowhere near, and they don't get there in time. So, it's actually a successful holder coming out from the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Kagane getting to play this torch, and you see why BSDE put prioritization towards that one. You feel like Trinity now, what has happened here with the picks and bans, they let that one slip through. They're thinking about the triple now here for the defense side, because that's where it's strong here, especially on Central Park. You can kind of really control that avenue, especially with the penny still being up here. We didn't see that one be banned out by either side. But yeah, BSD, that was really, really good to see from them. Squeakers, I was going to say, a few Hornet Proteuses missed that, you know, you wanted to see a little bit more out of, but AEL High, Kagane controlling that front line as well. Arats with the thing team up that we don't see all too much. I was going to say the Torch thing team up's one that kind of slips through the gaps a little bit.
Yeah, the first steps is pretty good when it does come out, you know. It's always fun to see a flying thing, you know, blazing their way through, kind of like a meteor. But we'll see how it does go. You know, it plays, I guess, a little bit similarly to the Fastball Special, right? Where you've got a lot of potential to throw a Wolverine this way, that way, wherever they may or may not go. But which way are we going to be going now? Who knows? As we lock down into the next push, the next portion here. And our teams are ready to rumble. So Infinity Stones are just going to be stumbling ahead, stumbling their way in. There it is. Going to be the first steps team up coming at you. And they're already into the backline, Tone.
Yeah, already into the backline. Kagane tossing a rats there to try and get something happening here. We see Robo Mikey a little bit too far pressed, and Trinity, they'll lose one early here, and Squeakers, the rest of BSD now can look to walk it up. And a lot of up front presence here with the squids, of course, from Squeakers, dishing out a lot of chip damage here, not allowing Trinity to walk up here, and they're slowly but surely backing away, and now Domorez is isolated there towards the backside of things, looking for a little bit more onto the strategist play of all things. BSDE are trying to take this point.
Yeah, trying to take it. Oh, big carbon crush coming through there. Zicha luckily retreats back though, so trying to do the best they can to hold on, hold firm here. Heels coming in at the right moment. Proteus does lock down Robo Mikey as well, though. Now going to be brought back with the BRB. Good to have access to the rocket there. Boundary going to keep the Infinity Stones online a while longer as well. Squeaker's so heavy focused into this one. You know, they're dealing with the damage from the Eternal Binder, but it is going to be shut down immediately. Robo Mikey down once again. Ult still available. Psionic Seduction comes on from Whoopers here. Going to see if they can catch anything else as well. As is Rats are falling straight back there. But there's still so much more they can enable here, Tony.
Yeah, so much more at play here. I was going to say Psionic Seduction, and we'll see once again the first steps from Kagane and Arats. They're looking to dive deep there on the thing. Goes the clobbering time on towards the backside of things this year from Domorez, trying to get that damage, keep everybody healthy and online for the moment. Psionic Seduction hasn't come out from AEL High yet. Made of both worlds, keeping everybody up and edging this time with the Magneto. Meteor M looking for the dunk. Doesn't quite hit its mark, but it doesn't matter. Whoopers finds a crucial target. We'll see Supernova out here from Kagane. Doesn't really do all too much. It's the Whoopers show right now. Really running down these strategists. Will be able to find a Quadra KO. And Trinity will clear out this point once again. BSDE fall.
Fall down, fall in line. And it's going to be all fine for the Titans right now. They're doing the very best they can to lock in and hold down this mission area. And the Infinity Stones They've looked great, but they've also looked immortal at the same time. So they need to find a way to break it through, and it could be the seduction that breaks them in. Oh, they've caught so many in their web. Eternal Bond coming out at the right moment there, and now another seduction in response. It's going to be big from Whoopers there. Finding Zecha is amazing to start. Rat's going down as well. Everything is falling apart here for the Infinity Stones. Proteus comes out, a plight of desperation, but it's too little too late. They concede to their fate and will be forced to retreat, fall back, or potentially one last fight here. But one thing I do notice, Tony, is that we're playing into a Scarlet right now, and there's a team up with Strange into this one.
Chains are available here. Squeakers will portal them on towards the mission area. Zecha didn't get to use that invisible boundary last time, but immediately it's a quick pick there. Sunman caught outside of the invisible boundary. Great kick there from Whoopers. Now looking for a little bit more on a Zecha. Kagune Supernova once again. Squeakers does find Bluebo with the Maelstrom. There will be another Supernova KO. Quick one there from Kagune, but the rest of the team are falling. Fate of both worlds just to keep something happening here for BSDE, but Trinity, they're holding strong. They've got all their members still online and still healthy, still breathing. We'll see Summon a great stun there onto Whoopers, who's trying to get in. Eye of Agamotto from Squeakers to try and clear out the cart, clear out the point. AEL High will take Robo Mikey. They'll take Headshot as well. Silent selection back from Whoopers, but he's the only one really fighting on this mission point for the moment. A Rats will take it. Overtime will tick, and we'll see BSDE finally get that capture.
Oh my goodness, Tony, they do manage to finally get the capture on to the mission area. It was a harder fought endeavor, but now they enable another 2.5 minutes. So they've got a chance to push this mission vehicle up as close as they possibly can to the last point, the last part of the line here. They keep catching Robo Mikey early into these fights. This is only going to hurt the Titans at this stage of the game, especially because they're trying to stall out the mission vehicle as long as they can here. Oh, Reality Erasure coming out as well around the back. They get a big push in, but they do catch the Vanguard. This is a great start now from the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, another great KO there on to Whoopers. They first found Robo Mikey, and I was gonna say it felt destined, right? Whoopers was a little bit too far pushed, couldn't get away from that Orality Erasure. Now we'll see BSDE continue to put their best foot forward. Edging onto fire a little bit. That bubble keeps them healthy for the moment, but then immediately scattered by a Rats. We'll see Barixity. Eternal Bond on towards Ratatoska to keep this fight going. We'll see Invisible Boundary, though, in return from Zecha. Earthbound for the moment. Barixity picking up a double with that Eternal Bond. We'll see a Rats now look to get chased down here. Barixity now all of the frontward pressure here with the Cloak and Dagger. And Trinity, they will be able to hold it around the corner for the moment. The Rats is staggered out, and we'll see BSDE forced back to the spawn region for the moment.
Yeah, forced all the way back in to spawn and looking. Take it easy for a moment. Ooh, Supernova coming out. Kagane there, looking to jump straight into it. They've been burnt. You know, with none of your teammates nearby, that tends to happen, doesn't it, Tony?
Absolutely does. Psionic Seduction from AEL High. As they'll look to wrong the rights here. Kagane was taken out earlier in the pitch. Zecha, though, with a double push. Find Barixity and Robo Mikey, and now this fight looks good. Once again for BSDE, but Robo Mikey's back. Clobbering time comes through to stabilize here. Bluebo will be able to pick up one. We'll see Psionic Seduction back from Whoopers. We'll see control of the mission vehicle go once again towards Trinity. Trying to find Kagane there, but just out of reach, just out of the radius here. We'll see Fate of both worlds for Sunman. We'll see BSDE fight it back once again.
Find it back, lock it in. It's the battle of the strategists right now. Look, desperately trying to shut down Rocket, but they're going to be punished by Barixity. This is a big problem for the Infinity Stones. They're fighting all the KOs. Reality Erasure could be exactly what they need. They're trying to shut down the Scarlet. They catch it. Robo Mikey down as well, though. They're doing whatever they can. It's a battle of desperation. Squeaker's in big trouble. Somehow still online. They're still fighting, still kicking. See ya coming on. And it could be the last stand coming out here. And that it is. The Titans lock it down, hold strong, and will be able to take away this series 2-1 in their favor. What an incredible bout that was, Tony. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, an absolute tit for tat there. I was going to say trading blow for blow. Whoopers another MVP. Them and well deserved, right? So many times that AEL High popped the Psionic Seduction. They took the initiative here for BSDE, and then Trinity Whoopers was like, I've got my Psionic Seduction too, and immediately counteracts the play. BSDE, they maybe found one pick with that Psionic Seduction from AEL High, but then Trinity, they traded it immediately back. Whoopers with 41 KOs. Absolute anarchy there for the side of Trinity, playing into that triple well, Matt. And for BSDE, there was a lot of unfortunate missteps. I was going to say Kagane, that it all really came down to that last staggered KO there onto Kagane, using that supernova when he probably didn't need to.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. You know, they definitely had a tough time, didn't they? Like, they utilized that supernova, but it was just really tough for them. Regardless, really great to see the side of Trinity reverse it back. You know, they lose Mat 1, they win the next two. They take it away, a 2-1 in their favor. What an incredible start to the day. But while we get things set up for our next game, everybody, we're going to be heading straight towards a break. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL High School Competition. It's going to be Mattse and TwoTapTony. No monkeying around here, Tony. It's time to get down to business. You know, I see those monkeys over there, Tony. We leave them as
adoring fans
in attendance. Yes. Number one fans.
Number one fans.
That's it. But, you know, speaking of number one fans, hopefully the number one fans of these teams coming up are going to be in attendance here for this game ahead of us, Tony. We got some great teams online, you know, and we had an impressive first showing from our teams here today, but there's another set of amazing competitors on their way through very, very soon here, Tony. But, you know, I'm always curious about the different approaches to the meta, different approaches to each of the maps from all the teams. Like we saw some teams play into the triple there at the start of the day, you know, obviously utilizing the strength of Venom towards the end there, especially. Like, Venom is just insane. I feel like Venom is the vanguard at the moment. You know, I'd argue one of the vanguards right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Venom's, I was going to say, it feels like it needs a touch-up going into Season 5, but of course we're getting into it. McKillop, Tassie Devils versus Navigators, of course, and Navigators. They're playing into a little cheeky little pun, but we'll be on Hell's Heaven once again. Domination, of course, to kick it off, and we're already seeing some quick bans. Hawkeye, Black Panther, and then Jeff and Cloak Lock.
How could they? They've banned my guy. Banned Hawkeye. I can't believe it.
Yep.
But gotta respect it. You know, there's a lot of strength, obviously, playing into the fold here. Hawkeye, one of those duelists that can completely wipe out a team if left unchecked. But speaking of Daredevil, one and the same. When you let the devil out, it's hard to put them back in. But we are seeing Angela taken out of the fray on Hell's Heaven as well here. You know, I feel like there's definitely a few angles you can find a bit of strength with Angela, but next protect is going to be a strange, so they can play into that frontward shield there, look to yield some results if portal combat is required, but for now, they're going to be taking it easy.
Yeah, that, I was going to say, interesting note to go back to that Hawkeye ban. That's a target on to Squid Blaze. I was going to say, I believe Squid Blaze played it for Navigators last week, so, you know, it's very much cool to see that McKillop have been doing a little bit of research. They know what they like to play as well. The Angela getting taken away for Navi is unfortunate, but they will lock the Emma here for Vib, I imagine. I was going to say last ban here for Navi, and what is it? It's going to be the Iron Fist of all things. We've seen a lot of Iron Fist today, Matt.
Doesn't surprise me at all. You know, we saw a lot of that melee duelist presence in the grand finals, and now we're seeing that just chopped away immediately. And yeah, it's really unsurprising considering how strong it is. You know, you can just dive in, especially if you play around those dive vanguards as well. It's just so difficult to deal with it. Like, there's not much of an answer. One thing I do like to see coming out from Yo B is going to be the Bucky. Bucky is him right now. Bucky is the duelist that can just make or break a fight. You know, playing around that bionic hook there, they can just hook, line, and sink KO after KO, and really excited to see how it plays out for Tassie Devils this time, as they are going to be just kicking it out nice and early into this one. But Squirrel Stampede is online for Mini Chook here, so we don't see much Squirrel Girl, I'd say, these days, but considering the circumstances right now, it could work out quite beneficially for them.
Yeah, it could work out quite well. I was going to say, you can control a lot of space with the Squirrel. It really allows you to navigate areas and dish out a lot of upfront damage, probably, that McKillop are after right now. Navi, though, I was going to say, they might have played into this one pretty well, allowing the Iron Man in the picture here. McKillop, of course, going to be playing into the Bucky to try and deal with it, but if Fungchun could go unchecked, this could be really, really dominant here for Navi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tony. We'll see how things go for them, though, as we are going to be taking it easy early on in the piece here. B looking to just make it easy. The moment, try and get a bit of distance from afar. See, catch them back there. Good hook, line, and sinker. Not going to be able to sink down the KO just yet, though. Slow their rodeo into this one, but the damage has worked out for the Tassie Devils because they've got control of the mission area.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of front end presence here, just taking a lot of space. Of course, Bucky dishing out some hooks. They could find a crucial target from Na'Vi in just a second, but yeah, a lot of ultimates being charged up here. And, for the moment, it feels McKillop just slowly charging up that percentage on the point. Cat Coley going to be controlling a lot of that, soaking in a lot of that front end damage from the side of Na'Vi, with the Magneto pick being probably a lot better than the Strange in terms of soaking up all the damage, right? You've got that shield, but you've also got 2 bubbles to play with here. We'll see Minichuk as well from afar dishing up that damage. And of course, as well, they've got the PR beacon, so realistically, McKillop are playing this 6v5.
Yeah, I'd say that there's definitely a lot more strength, especially playing around, you know, some key strategists there, enabling your duelists to go leaps and bounds. I think that there is a lot of strength to it, especially if you can just enable your heroes to get the necessary picks here. So, great to see how they've adapted. No, no!
Oh my!
Oh, that's great at playing into the Bucky kit there, because, you know, once you hit those E's, they are going to be knocking down any flyers. That's just very unfortunate there for the Iron Man.
Oh, and Yo-Yo B's continuing this reign of tyranny. Double KO there, lining up for more there, but of course the Squirrel Girl ultimate coming through from Minichuk secures the KO on the Squid Blaze, and McKillop, this is, well, controlling that Iron Man. I was gonna say, Feng Chong was the one I wanted to see really control the space. Goes for the invincible pulse cannon, and it doesn't hit. Yo-Yo B finding all the shots here, and 95% for McKillop, and nothing here for Na'Vi, not even a portal back to the point. McKillop, domination, the first point here in Hell's Haven.
Yeah, they conquer that. They conquer the Eldritch Monument in every sense of the word. They're now looking to defrost the frozen airfield and see if they can yield some deeper results once again, because, yeah, they've just staked their claim into this map so far, and they've been mostly unchallenged. Looks like there is a bit of a change-up coming out from the Navigators right now as well, though. They're looking to play into the Moon Knight, the Punisher onto this one. They do still have the Emma Frost up front, but I think, you know, they're trying to match, I suppose, the composition of the Tassie Devils, in the sense that they do have the double duelist composition themselves. They're trying to see if it's going to work out a little bit better for them. I'd say playing into those characters, you know, there's definitely opportunities that they can use here, strengths they can have, especially with that Final Judgment ultimate. I think that could be huge for Squid Blaze, because they can just rip through Magneto, you know, obviously try and rip through some of the backline as well. But the trouble is that the strategists are very, very slippery. So even still, that could be quite a hard task.
Yeah, very mobile composition for both backlines here. I was going to say Na'Vi rocking the Rocket Raccoon and Jeff as well. Yo-Yo B just dishing out a bit of punishment early there. Jeff getting low. Same with Ratnato, same with Feng Chong. They're just dishing out a lot of front-end presence here. We'll see Psionic Seduction from Ribvib to try and soften up these KOs. Squid Blaze will follow it up for suit, but Yo-Yo B, though, answering one back, does have Kraken Impact for good measure, but Jeff Time actually going to secure a quick swallow on towards Squid Blaze. They'll be taken low and probably taken out if they go unchecked. Hunchback Bird will spit them off. Ratnato caught in the corner, and Yo-Yo B just able to walk up here, and Ribbib's just letting him take out his teammates for some strange reason. Na'Vi will be losing this fight slowly towards the side of McKillop Tassie Devils.
Yeah, going to be a tough challenge there, but they do manage to prevail in the end, you know, starting the fight off with this Jeff and then managing to heave their way forward. So Navigators were looking good. Like, it felt like they had the makings of a comeback into this one, but they just haven't been able to deliver it just yet. Oh, here we go. Going to be the unbeatable Squirrel Stampede coming at you from Minichuk right now. They've caught Feng Chung there and are looking to see if they can catch anyone else out of this one, as they will be looking to stall it out a while longer. Cosmic Yarn Amplifier is ready as well. Jack Earl is thinking about it, but they don't need it yet until they do.
They're just thinking about it. It's not in the most ideal of spots here, because of course the trade here with the amplifier from Ratnato and Squid Blaze, the rest of Na'Vi getting involved. Feng Chung did swap up to the Iron Man. Hunchback Bird now trying to get away for the moment, but of course, finally, Na'Vi are able to cap this point there. It just, I feel, came to the fact that the amplifier was put in the wrong spot.
Yeah, they spent a bit too much time trying to, I suppose, compose themselves into that portion of the fight, didn't they? You know, they were trying to position it well, it just didn't happen. But what did happen was the KO for the Navigators there. Final Judgment coming at you as well. Oh, big response. They do catch them there, and that's the power of the Magneto. Having that Meteor available to shut down the Final Judgment there is so big. And speaking of big pickups on the It's Jeff this time. They're going to be taking them for a swim, and they don't even need to drop them off the map. The damage is too much, but they're finding good responses, but ain't good enough because the Navigators are going to be on the driver's seat a little while longer.
And a great Jeff time there. KD, and you can see the kill up now. I want to answer back. Already using that Magneto Meteor M, trying to win out that fight initially. See Kraken Impact available though for Yo-Yo B, so they can walk up. Ribfib though, early Psionic Seduction here, stalls out the fight for the moment. Cat Coley trying to soak up all that front end damage, but it's coming through from the side of Squid Blaze. And we'll see Mini Chook as well for the Squirrel comes out here, the ultimate across the back, but Na'Vi will be able to take it out. And McKillop now looking under fire here, Matt.
Yeah, they're looking to be under fire with no way to extinguish it, aren't they? But there's going to be a fire now hurling its way through. Good bubble coming out. Hunchback Bird. There's nowhere to really take them. They're at least going to be able to isolate them from the Firecracker Impact down south there. Now trying to see if they can zone them out of this one. They aren't going to be able to enable the damage onto any singular KOs. Just spread out too much there. They do get isolated out of the fight themselves. KDS is almost out of this one. I do manage to slip back though, but the Tassie Devils are doing a great job. They got a bit of control. Here we go. Final Judgment. There's no Meteor this time. It's going to be fantastic for the Navigators here as they slip it through KO after KO. And they should be able to hold control. Already switching up to the Strange, but it could be too little too late. No one's even close. And there it is. Nicely done. They take the mission area. That will be claimed now. 1-1 on the map. Navigators aren't out of it yet.
Yeah, that was some great adaptations. I was going to say, just really stalling out those KOs and McKillop. I felt like they kind of played into it a little bit too much. They gave up a lot of free early KOs in some of those fights. Na'Vi. It's good to see them bounce back there. Great call there, Matt. I was going to say, you spoke about the Punisher being a very crucial thing here for Na'Vi, and Squid Blaze definitely had all of the impact on that one. The fact that Riviv's just able to walk up for free, and then Squid Blaze is just shooting from the backline, peppering in all those KOs. McKillop, what do they now bring to the table? Cat Coley going to be swapping up to the Emma, so we'll be seeing an Emma mirror here for both of these sides, and that could come to fruition here. A lot of ultimates as well available for Na'Vi. We'll see Pulse Cannon. We'll see as well the Amplifier for Magneto. Na'Vi coming back in a big way after a dominant first point here on domination from McKillop.
Yeah, really solid beginning, I'd say, into the map with that one. And now to see if they can take their pursuits a little further as well as we jump straight in. Super Soldier Factory going to be the one to consider here. Good Blaze, trying to blaze ahead with their shots here. Still maintaining cover. Oh, big bionic hook though. Sets them out of place and clears the space for a KO. Invincible Pulse Cannon coming at ya. And it does find Hunchback Bird. This is a big KO coming through. The Seers online as well. Jack Bell trying their best to keep their team online. The Unstoppable Squirrels there beat is coming at ya with a Penta KO in favor of a Mini Chook there. Oh my goodness. Can you believe what they managed to achieve there with the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami? Just huge stuff from the Squirrel Girl player.
Yeah, that's great timing from Mini Chook. Just when, you know, Na'Vi found that Pulse Cannon, they're like, alright, we can walk it up. I imagine the comms are like, go, 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 get on towards the point. Mini Chook just finding that avenue to slide that Squirrel Girl ultimate through, dishing out so much damage. And again, Squid Blaze under fire from Mini Chook this time around. We'll see Psionic Seduction come out here from Ribfib, but it's stabilized. McKillop looking good right now. We'll see Jeff Time come through from KDA to try and spit somebody off. We'll be Ratnado forced to dash back towards the mission area. We'll see Psionic Seduction from Cat Goalie. Now, needs to be a little bit careful because Na'Vi are here and they're still fighting. Rapnado caught by Cat Goalie. Going in for a little bit more here onto Squid Blaze as well. Punisher low and taken out by Cat Goalie. We turn around for Rib Bib 2. It's the quad back from Cat Goalie. And the point continues to tick here for Makilla.
Yeah, solid work being put in there. They've been able to hold on to the mission area. They've got It's Jeff available as well. If Hunchback should activate it, they delay the fight a little bit further. C are going to be pushed online first, though. Big shots from B around the side there. But there you go. Final Judgment coming at you. Yo-Yo P is just taking out all the strategists, though. Big problems for Squid Blaze. They've managed to blaze ahead of one, but they are going to be undone nice and quick here. So, solid stuff coming at you into the rest of this one. They've still got Kraken Impact online for Yo-Yo B as well. Taking it easy. Shots are coming in. Ooh, they've spotted Iron Man here, but no one's looking to contest. Just like that, the OT does come in right at the last possible second here. They're trying to stall it out, Tone, but it could be too little too late. The Squirrel Tsunami is coming at you once again. There's a reason it's unbeatable, and they will be able to take away the map. So, Dusty Devils bring it back in the end, and that is going to be map 1.
Yeah, close domination there. I was going to say, Mini Chook really dialing in for that final point. And Cat Goalie, well-deserved MVP, huge quadra to continue to control that point. And unfortunate there for Na'Vi. They weren't able to continue their streak. Going through to that one, MVP, of course, to Cat Goalie. SVP to Squid Blaze. I was going to say, Matt, you spoke about the Punisher being a great swap-up, and I can't fault it there from Squid Blaze. Maybe just needed a little bit more out of Feng Chong, and it could have been going the way of Na'Vi.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know, I feel like Iron Man, it's a bit of a make or break hero right now. I feel like Iron Man isn't in his strongest place here. There's definitely alternatives that they could have taken to take the fights in a different direction. Like, they definitely tried to make it work, but it just didn't work the way that they would have hoped into this one. So, perhaps into the next map, they may be looking to take an alternative avenue, you know, maybe play into some more of the melee duelist presence, maybe playing into something like the Psylocke. You know, Psylocke definitely has a great place at the moment, especially into Season 4. I think Psylocke is just huge, you know, can burn through strategist ultimates and just do crazy stuff, especially paired with a Mantis. But what we are going to be seeing next, Mr. Tony, is our next map, and once again, it will be Spider Islands.
Yeah, I love Spider Island. I was going to say, can't get enough of it, and it's going to be interesting, right? Because we saw a lot from our last series there. The triple was a very potent thing on a map like Spider Island as well, going into Convergence. So, you know, we only have a 5v5, Matt, so it's going to be interesting to maybe see the triple-double, you know, a little bit of an interesting strategy that we haven't seen yet. But yeah, I was going to say, for the side of Na'Vi, they're really going to have to draw on probably a lot of the bans there. I definitely hope to see either a Bucky or a Squirrel getting taken away there, because for you know, Mini Chook and Yo-Yo B, they were really, really dominant there on that first point of domination.
Oh yeah. They were huge. Like, I was really impressed with how well they managed to play into the Squirrel Girl, because you don't see Squirrel Girl every day, but the fact that they were able to just really get big benefits out of it was just so impressive. Like, they managed to continue to zone out their enemies. They just weren't able to deal with it at all. Like, you know, it was just Squirrel Tsunami all day long. Like, there's a reason it's unbeatable, like I said before, you know, and it just kept swimming through the point. You know, it was like we were seeing the Dance of the Cutterfly, but with Squirrel Girl, just slicing their way through the mission areas there. So, really great stuff coming through. Can't fault it whatsoever. I'm certain we'll see, I guess, some adaptations coming into this next map, though. You know, I wouldn't imagine we'd probably see, I guess, some of the strengths that we did see there once again. Like, I'm sure there's probably going to be an adaptation, especially into the draft phase there. You know, they try and disable some of that engagement we saw, especially thinking back on the Bucky. I think Bucky was really big for them. You know, I think one of our impressive moments coming through going to be big E's coming out there. But there's going to be more where that came from once our teams get ready to rumble, you know, and curious how they're going to stumble into this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to know what we'll see out of the picks and locks, because there's of course a lot of things that can be drawn on here. You know, I was gonna say maybe even target towards the rocket for both of these teams could be interesting, but of course we'll see the picks and locks here. Iron Man getting taken away. Bucky high prio here though for the side of the Tassie Devils, so they'll keep that one. But in the interim though, Na'Vi keeping the Punisher, taking away the Squirrel.
It's interesting to see the Iron Man banned out by the Tassie Devils here as well, because, like we were talking about, it didn't feel like it had the impact that really warranted it being a concern. Like, it's, yeah, interesting to see that one taken away, but also now, once again, target ban coming out. Hawkeye going to be disengaged from this fight, Daredevil as well, so they're really just focused around those duelists, picks there, like Emma Frost breaking in as well at the beginning, but it does leave a lot to be open, honestly. Like, there's a lot that they can play into here, and yeah, it does give a lot of freedom, I suppose, to both of these rosters into this, so curious to see how it's all going to go. Squid Blaze, once again, you know, playing into that Punisher. It's great that Cat Coley there is going to be playing into the mag because they can deal with that ultimate, but ooh, where you go, Tony. I spoke on Psylocke earlier, the strength it has, and now it looks like Feng Chung is going to be bringing that at ya.
Yeah, Psylocke going to be probably an important one to watch here for. I was going to say, you know, the fact that they've got, as we've coined it and as everybody's coined it, Matt, the Animal Crossing duo of the Rocket and Jeff, allows a little bit more aggressive play because, of course, Ratnado's dishing out those healing balls. Jeff, of course, at the range is healing everybody, and of course, as well, dishing out some damage. So it allows your duelist to play a little bit more dive centric. And I was going to say, interesting little mirror as well, Mini Chook with the Punisher for this one. But not a whole lot has changed from McKillop other than that.
Yeah, they're looking to just play in a similar direction, aren't they? So curious to see what's going to go down with this one. They're taking it easy for the moment. Going to just bide their time. Ooh, Cat Coley taking a lot of punishment. They need help now. It looks like they will be able to slip back to the right angle, but that was looking nasty. There you go, Ribbib already popping up there, finding Mini Chalk, and going to see if they can catch a few more just like that, but things are already looking great. It's a great change for the Navigators there, and see if they can get anyone else, as there you go, Squid Blaze does go down, brought right back up with a BRB though, so both teams going to be playing into that for the moment, but they are gaining at least a slither of ground here for the Tassie Devils. Cracking impact around the back, could be big. It's Jeff going out as well. Ooh, big focus, and they do catch one, but they haven't got the tick reset, and they will be punished for it.
And Jack's just getting tossed around for the side of Na'Vi. Yeah, unfortunate. You didn't find that quick reset there onto Squid Blaze. So, wrong target focus. We'll see Jeff Time back in return here from Hunchback. Has taken out Ribfib. So, this allows McKillop to walk up for free with no front end presence here. Feng Chung trying to get something happening towards the backline here with a Psylocke, but taken out by Cat Coley, covering for strategist and the duelist right now. And we'll see McKillop slowly start to walk up this mission vehicle, leaving one there. All the rest try and pursue some more KOs.
Yeah, looking to press them back. It's great they have such frontal presence for the Tassie Devils right now. Taking a bit of damage and they're dishing even more out. Look at that. They just cut their way in, and the Navigators are not able to do much at all. So, Ratnado, last one standing, and their position is revealed. This could be a problem as they're now being hunted down by the opposing duelists. Uh-oh, but they will be able to slip back in time. So, great work from the Tassie Devils there. You know, they managed to get control of the mission area and now look to stroll the convoy a little bit further ahead.
And the Psylocke didn't work for Feng Chung, so straight back towards the Moon Knight Ribbib. Have to give them credit, the Strangers look pretty good so far, and now Jack thinking about this amplification, try and tune up the damage here. Yo-Yo B finding a crucial KO there with the help of Cat Coley. Mini Chook getting involved too, just staggering Na'Vi. Once again here, Ribbib caught, will be KO'd. Yo-Yo B. Once again, I don't know why Na'Vi allowed this Bucky through.
Yeah, it's just insane, right? Because it was an early protector coming out there for the Tassie Devils, and it's enabled them over and over again. Like, they're just trailing KOs through over and over right now. You know, they got the ban out onto the Squirrel, sure, and that made an impact, but the Bucky is just the man of the impact, the one with the Kraken impact, and they are making themselves heard over and over again. Like, there's a reason that they are just trading in KOs. Like, Tony, he just got 3, and now he's looking to lock in more again. What is going on? He's unstoppable.
Yeah, Yo-Yo-B is on a tear right now, and there's nothing that Na'Vi are able to do. So Jeff now under fire. Bubble in, Kraken impact, reset. Thank you very much. It will be potentially another here. Needs to find Ratnado, though. They've been a little bit slippery here with the amplification. Staying online and staying healthy. Fungchong has found Hunchback in the back there, so now we see a little bit weaker of a push, but Fungchong isn't being cleared for the moment, but isn't getting out a lot of damage.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't think that they were a problem. They just left them uncontested in the backline for such a long time there, and eventually got dealt with. Now focused up onto Squid Blaze there. They're just slowly but surely trickling those targets in. I mean, Jeff's still online for them, you know, KDS ASR, but they will fall back eventually. Rip-Bib in a bit of trouble as well. They're being kept online by their teammates. But all the meanwhile, the Tassie Devils have just had great stakes onto the mission vehicle here. Fung Chung does get taken out, though. Jeff Lantern online. It's going to be his Jeff catching 3. This is huge eat coming out here. They take them all out, and that is going to be a big presence. Big is Jeff coming out in response as well, but it just doesn't get what they were hoping from it. So they are still going to be contesting up front here. Final judgment. Oh no. Oh no. Mini Chook are looking to destroy them from afar here. Hide away from Khonshu. They will be taken out. So actually a decent response here. But I mean, Yo-Yo-B is still just blazing ahead here, Tony.
Yeah, it's so hard to deal with. I have Agamotto, though. Stops and play McKillop for the moment. The Rib Vip will find Hunchback with the Maelstrom. That Rocket Raccoon is a little bit slippery for Yo-Yo-B to deal with, but will be able to finalize it there. We'll see Meteor out of Cat Coley, finding the Jeff in the back side of things, the blade for the double KO. And we'll see McKillop cap with 2 minutes 23 on the clock. Matt, what a push from them.
Oh yeah, that was huge. Like, they just had such a commanding presence into that initial push there. Like, it looked like they were starting off a little bit slowly, but once they managed to string things together, it just all fell into place. Now looking to play into the defensive side of things as well. Really keen, curious even, how they're going to be able to play this one out, because it looks like there is a bit of a change-up. You know, Cat Coley is looking to maybe play into the Rocket and Penny team up here, bring out the web server, get a few more mines online, and I can respect it. You know, I think that it definitely will enable them to hold things back a while longer. But in saying that, I think that they shouldn't be shy of the idea, the possibility of switching back into the mag just to keep those bubbles online, because I feel like, you know, with the Bulwark Shields, it's just been great for them. Like, it's really enabled their composition into a lot of the different fights here. So, curious to see which direction they're going to go, heading deeper into the piece right now, as they get their preparations laid in place.
Yeah, I was going to say for Na'Vi, right, Feng Sheng now to the Penny. Rabib sticking with the Strategist, double Vanguard. Double Strategist, one singular duelist here. It's going to be up to Squid Blaze to really dish out a ton of KOs here for the help of Na'Vi. Immediately, though, I was going to say, just upfront presence here. Punisher being on check for the moment, so just a lot of damage coming out here. Na'Vi, though, they will get onto the mission vehicle. They'll look to start to push it.
Pushing it decently well. Mini Chooks are already down here. Nice focus from Squid Blaze. Just slipping through the cracks there and causing cracks in the armor. You know, they're finding these mission critical KOs. Cat Coley's going down, so It's not working out whatsoever for the Tassie Devils right now, as they've just been overwhelmed immediately. Like, their opponents are already forcing them back to the next gate here, and yeah, just like that, they're switching it back to the Magneto. Exactly what I was talking about before, Tony. You know, if it doesn't work, they can't hesitate. And it's great that they've been adaptable in a quick fashion here, because this could really help them to secure the mission vehicle in place.
Yeah, Na'Vi, though, they're just kind of free women at Feng Chung. The Penny, a little bit harder to deal with than some of the, I guess, squishier duelists that they've been playing. And the nest will go down. Cat Coley, though, will be able to find Squid Blaze. So now they've found some KOs for McKillop. We can see Mini Chook firing away on the turret. Yo-Yo B walking up with a Kraken impact. Doesn't need to pop it. There's so much front damage. With a triple KO from Yo-Yo B. That will be the mission vehicle capped in return here. But we'll see Jeff time from KD to spit out and swallow 3. Big feast from KT. SASR. That will be Na'Vi continuing to push.
Continuing to push, continuing to deliver here, and very eager to see how they are going to be able to enact vengeance onto this one, as Kako Lee goes down there. They did a great job of stalling out the mission vehicle, but it's not going to be enough to stop the Navigators in place. So we'll see how this next portion goes, because they have built a ton of time to play with, Tony. They are looking to not stop at all.
Not stopping at all. Mini Chook falling off the high ground. It'll be very important hook to land, but doesn't quite find its mark. Hunchback will lead the charge, though. Swallow up both the vanguards. No bubble to keep the Jeff healthy, but of course will be able to get the ultimate off and push them off of the mission vehicle. KD now under fire by Yo-Yo B. The execution is there if Yo-Yo B opts to pop the Kraken impact. Well, they'll send Na'Vi back to the spawn for the moment, just with one good ultimate. That's what they need right now, spacing out these ultimates and really keeping control. On the side of Na'Vi, though, then happy to pop theirs. We'll see Magneto, Meteor M not quite find its mark. Final judgment coming out from Mini Chook to try and soften up some killing blows, but it is going to be, in return, the final judgment from Squid Blaze to find the KOs. Yo-Yo B will trade. The fight still ensues here on the mission vehicle.
That it does, Mr. Tony. They are going to be able to lock it down and keep that fight going. The CEO is online now. Still going to be online, but NATO, not so fortunate, will be punished there. Tassie Devils in a bit of trouble. Rib Vib is locking it down right now, catching him off guard. Does have Agamotto available here too if needed, but doesn't look like they are going to be having to use it at all. Well, ooh, Rib Vib, deep trouble. Luckily falls back at the right moment there, but these fights are getting more and more intense as we lock it through.
Yeah, Na'Vi props to them. They're able to continue pushing. And it's forward. See Squid Blaze. Imagine Yo-Yo be under fire. Will be caught out, though. A little bit too aggressive there. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. See, it does keep KD back, and will be a hook Kraken impact here from Yo-Yo B on towards the backside of things. But once again, Squid Blaze is so healthy, not be able to find the reset. Yo-Yo B once again doesn't get the value out of the impact that they would like. And you can see Red Viv shielding for the teammates right now. It will be finally Mini Chook collecting that one. Yo-Yo B so front and center here with the turret dishing out damage from the back here from Mini Chook.
Yeah, just dishing out so much punishment, like they've been uncontested. They now are going to be spotted and potentially slotted out. The healing luckily keeps them online for a little while longer here, but as you can see, the Tassie Devils have done a pretty good job of just stalling out that mission vehicle, like just playing it for time here. You know, they had 4 minutes to deal with. It's now down to almost a minute and a half left here, and they've caught Rib Bib. This is a great way to just already destructure this fight. Like, Feng Chung is already taking a lot of damage, right? NATO one and the same. And there's the CR. Final judgment, though, could be big into this one. Great catch. There you go. They're smashing their way in. Oh, this is huge for the Navigators right now. And that's exactly what they need to push this mission vehicle a little more. Meteor coming out. Ooh, a little too late. They do at least get the KO, and they can stall the vehicle, I suppose, but they need their teammates if they want to hold on to this one. Ooh.
The spider sweep coming across there. Big Jeff time from Hunchback Bird will be able to take away a few valuable members, and Na'Vi will actually lose that one out. I was going to say the Meteor didn't quite hit its mark, Matt, but it was more than enough with the presence stall there from Cat Coley. You saw Jack Bell was immediately back there. Huge stall from McKillop, and now only 35 seconds for Na'Vi to get back on.
Yeah, really impressed with the It's Jeff there, doing a great job. A portal coming through as well, around the back. Ribib is going to need this, you know. It's a one or more fight here. Agamotto on line 2 can definitely find the impact. There you go. They catch a couple, and it's where big fight. It's going to be the Kraken Impact in the final judgment, though. Looking to see if they can respond nice and quickly, and they are going again and again here. KDS ASR, last one standing. It's Jeff coming out, trying to get them. They got all 3! Oh my goodness, but they're not on the mission vehicle. Tony! No! They don't oh, that's devastating. That's going to lose them the map, lose them the game. If they had more time, it would have been fantastic, but oh, that is such a misstep.
That's so unfortunate to see, right? It was such a big Jeff time. I can't really blame him, right? Going on towards that mission vehicle, swallowing him off. Of course, nobody there to continue that push for Na'Vi. Huge play from McKillop. Well-deserved MVP for Yo-Yo B, because 39 eliminations, Matt. 26,000 damage. Yo-Yo B on an absolute tear on the Bucky.
Yeah. Just so impressive how they managed to play into that one. You know, they had a great day. They did so much positive work for their team. Like, it just felt like they were banning around everything but Yo-Yo B there. So, really impressed with how things played out, and really impressed with our sponsors. A big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC is the best, provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
Absolutely, and power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech, from high-spec to precision gear. Officeworks has what you need.
That's it. You know them, you love them. Big shout-out to them, and a big shout-out to Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So a big shout-out to each and every one of our sponsors there, and a big shout-out to AEL. Make sure you check us out on all our social medias at AU Esports League. We are on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, you name it, we are on it. Make sure you check us out to see all of the best AEL action across our various competitions there. But this has been Mattse. This has been a TwoTapTony coming at you with some AEL High School Competition here for Term 4. We are going to be coming back at you same time, same place next week. Make sure you don't miss it. These games are only going to get better and better, and I can't wait to see what they can bring. For now, though, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, as always, and we will catch you in the next one.